you start off why, right? With all these options and choices.
Me, I'm looking for substance. So if you can't come with a substance level of conversation, I have no interest.
Okay.
You black man taking the liking of how my lifestyle is living and how I'm going, man, and you being intrigued, man. That's very humbling for me, man.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey man, how you doing?
Oh, not too bad. Just watching TV, but I'm telling you, um, this is really for a real thing that happened to me quite a while ago. I have several things, but this was the first paranormal experience I ever had.
Get everything going. So I have it recorded right now. So just letting you know that we are on a recorded line. So as long as you're okay with that, let's proceed. Can you hear me?
I'm ready to go right now.
Okay. Yeah, okay. We're going on ahead, man. I'll just give you a little background on me and what I do. I actually, like I said, I run a podcast. It's called the Club Geneva Show. It's on YouTube. It's got a pretty good following. We've done some really good shows with a lot of people, a few celebrities, like I've done one with Judge Joe Brown and a couple other guest celebrities. But what I do is I work with Shannon, who is the administrator for the All Things Paranormal Group. And what we want to
Right.
do is kind of shed a light on everyone's story because there's so many people who want to put their stories out, and the only way that they can put their stories out is by typing and creating stories like that. So we wanted to add another layer. So having you do this is really cool because it's going to encourage other people who are on the group to actually share their stories, and people can hear it from their firsthand account. So would you mind if I call
So
you so would you mind if I call you John, or is there another name that you want to go by?
my name is John.
Okay. Well, some people want to be anonymous. That's why I asked that.
No, that's all right. That's not very personal. I just that I have personal feelings about it.
N-
It was a really, oh wow, it was kind of a trauma for a long time. But I've had several experiences now. I have something attached to me, I think, and but but I'm fine with it now because I'm used to it. So, but
Okay.
when back then, oh my lord.
So this is going to be when we do this, it's going to be like an interview style. So I will interject and ask you certain questions, but for the most part, you'll be able to tell your complete story. But I do want to know, do you feel that this entity or whatever this energy is that's attached to you, do you feel like it is surrounded around a certain event, or is it just something that has always been attached to you?
Well, I've had a couple of near-death experiences as an adult. Whatever's attached to me is not malevolent. It's not the same thing that took place in this story. This story was when I was young, and uh, everything else that's happened to me since is always basically people that I know. There's several of them. Uh, they
Okay.
don't come. They're not coming around right now because I'm kind of stepped away from the spirituality of it all. I still pray. I still smudge. I do things like that. I cleanse myself all the time. But that's for this past 15, 20 years. And but that other the story I'm going to tell you was a malevolent, and it was a dark spirit. And oh, geez.
Wow. I keep hearing a lot of people when they tell me these stories, they have a lot of like negative emotions, or just let's just say their emotions are very heightened when they tell these stories. So it almost lets people know that what they've experienced is real and authentic, at least to them. And I think that that is something that can't be overlooked by people who are sharing these stories. So please go ahead, tell the viewers on the group, what have you experienced?
And I do believe it was 1975. I was 11 years old. Um, the house we lived in had only two bedrooms, but there was a basement, partially decorated, and I had a bedroom in the basement. It was very comfortable for the most part. Um, I had a older brother. He came home from Alaska, and he was only there. I don't know, maybe 2 days before before things started happening. I could hear things going on in the basement when I was in bed. Uh, the very next night, I heard somebody. I was sleeping, and that woke me up. I heard somebody over by the washer and dryer, and it was very dark. And I I could see something darker than the dark, and I I was squinting my eyes, and my brother Dean had a bed across the other side of the basement, and I assumed, so I said, "Dean, Doug," and I could see it moving, and nobody answered.
Mm.
"Who are you?" And all of a sudden, I caught my breath. It was something coming right at me or moving towards me, but I could feel the energy shift in the room. I I went immediately into fight or flight, and believe me, I wasn't fighting. I ran for the basement stairs,
Wow.
and the basement stairs were wooden that run up to the first floor, and they're made out of wooden slats, 2 by 10s, and I grabbed onto the slats, and I'm pulling myself up. It wrapped all around me. It was like an octopus's arms, but it was just energy. And it was just and I grabbed the slats, and I'm pulling myself up the stairs. I cannot scream. I have no words. Tears are running down my face. I'm looking up, and there's the bathroom there, right by the taps, and there's pipes hanging out of the back of the bathtub. I, I'm I, I'm using all my strength. This thing is trying to pull me back down the basement. I finally grabbed onto the pipes on the back of the bathtub, and I could feel it sliding. The energy is sliding off of me as my face is going into the bathroom.
Mm.
Sorry, I got to swallow.
Now, let me ask you. So, when you say this energy, did it feel like a real living thing, or was it just like the ambience of some type of static electricity or
Yeah,
something?
it was almost static electricity. It was like almost like a magnet. You ever have two magnets and push them together,
Yeah.
and the magnets are attracting?
Mm-hmm.
It was like that. But it was like, yes, it was like, it was certainly energy, but it was the scariest thing ever.
What makes you think that it was benevolent, though?
Oh, I could just feel
Malevolent.
the evil. I felt the evil.
Okay.
It was dark. It was not nothing that this thing wanted me.
Okay.
I was 11.
And you was 11 years old. Okay, and I'm sorry for everybody. I meant malevolent. Oh, I hate that word.
Oh,
Evil.
malevolent.
Excuse me. Yeah, yeah. That's a tongue twister for me sometimes. But um, yeah, just because I guess another question would be because a lot of people are going to say like, were you on something? Did somebody give you
I
some
was
medicine?
I was a child.
Yeah, but like
11, I
sometimes
was.
parents give,
Oh
children
no,
medicine or something to that
no,
effect.
no, nothing like that. This was 1975. My parents were very traditional.
Okay, okay, okay. So did this occurrence happen more and more, or was it just a one-time thing?
No, that was the one time thing for I don't know, a few years. Then when I was in my teens, I had a cousin and myself. We had some really strange thing that's happening, and things were moving around. It was a Ouija board thing, and that's really sucked. And we didn't like it at all. And we said goodbye at least because I knew all about that.
Hmm.
And but
Was this in the same house?
no, no, that was at his house, my auntie's house. He's my cousin. But they had things happening there too. It was all over. I don't know. But in the past 10 years or so, I've had several things, and it's all benevolent. You know
Okay.
what I mean? These are
Yeah.
people talking to me, and I don't mean so I can hear it. They're just showing me that they're there, and they're there. They're like guardian angels. I get that all the time.
Mm.
I get, I get,
Let's.
I get visitors, people who love me all the time, and it's sorry, I got to swallow.
No, you're
It,
fine. It's got to be a good feeling when you have like you go from one end of that spectrum where you got things that are trying to terrorize you and scare you half to death, and then in your later life you have that level of confidence where these things are coming to you and you can feel like the love that they're trying to bring to you or maybe the help or support. But
now,
back.
once I gained my spirituality, and
uh
um, I I really became um, kind of a transient or whatever for others,
no,
for spirits
I,
for spirits to come to me,
I hear what you're
and
saying. I hear what you're saying.
and and my health has not been well, and um, and I feel like I'm being protected by these people.
Wow. So, oftentimes people have said that when you are closer in your spirituality, that's when hauntings, like true authentic hauntings, kind of intensify when you get closer to, Christianity or God or, a higher power. So it's kind of a different thing to hear someone say that, they're actually going through health crisis and they're being more reliant on spirituality, and those entities are coming to them and they are being in support versus trying to scare or intimidate or put some type of weight on that person. But I do want to address, because I know a lot of people are going to be like, why didn't you just go back over that? Tell us about the Ouija board experience, would you?
Yeah, it was just my cousin. We'll call him
Let's call
Ray.
him cousin. Yeah.
Uh, we were alone in the house, and a big, big house my auntie had. But we were in the dining room, and it was late. Everybody was out, and we were making cinnamon toast and tea, and we were playing with the Ouija board and asking questions and using the what's that thing called, the planchette,
Mm-hmm.
and we were asking questions and to see if anybody was brave enough to come and show themselves. And um, and it moved, and you're pushing this. I was telling him, and no, Jay, I'm not. And it went brave. It went BRAVE all by itself. And it's all it said was brave. And all of a sudden, it started moving. The whole board started moving. At first, it was kind of sliding a little bit side to side, and all of a sudden, it raised right into the air. We both let
Whoa.
go of it. We both let go. It slammed to the ground, and Raymond's going to run. I says, "No, we got to say goodbye."
How high did it raise off the ground?
Up table, 6 inches for sure. Four to six. It was freaky. See, I got tears in my eyes now.
Oh man. It almost sounds like
Yeah,
it almost sounds like that when it spelled out brave, it was almost questioning you, like saying,
brave.
"Oh, brave?
Yeah,
Really?
you
Uh,
want to see, brave?
yeah. Let's see how
Exactly.
brave you
Yeah.
are."
Oh yeah. Well, I stuck in. I didn't run. I stuck in to say goodbye because I knew that's what you're supposed to do. Otherwise, that thing might stick around. Oh yeah, that was pretty. After we did that, we got up and ran up the stairs because we had pencils because we had drawings on the side. I stabbed him in the leg with a pencil trying to get up the stairs before him.
You
Uh,
were freaky scared. Yeah, I've been there once or twice. That is, yeah, I know the feeling. I can feel that feeling. That because yeah, I've been there before. It's like, man, I'm freaked out of my mind, and when that happens, you have no
oh yeah,
voluntary control.
we went to his bedroom and we were hyperventilating everything. That was really really scary.
Yeah, I had that happen one time when I was a child in my backyard. It was very quiet in the backyard. It wasn't even a large backyard. It's just a really small backyard, and
Yeah,
it was just a really quiet day. Like no kids were out. You could almost hear like the leaves, and I was back in
in
the
the
backyard by
daytime,
myself, and I heard someone say my name really gently,
right?
and dude. I looked, I got nervous, and then I heard it like a few minutes later, really softly. And I'm talking about I ripped out of a locked fence, and it was one of those old, like I used to be. They were very flimsy, and I was able to rip
Yeah.
as like an 8-year-old out of this fence, and it all happened without my voluntary control. So that's what I'm getting at. I know how you felt running up those stairs, and when I ripped out of that gate. I ran outside. I ran around the side of the driveway. I fell, flipped over, hopped back up, kept running. I look over. It was my buddy
Oh
next
yeah,
door.
I was trying to climb over him. I stabbed him in the leg with a pencil.
Now my story was actually my buddy who lived in the house right next door to me was in the patio, dug down, and he was saying my name. So,
Yeah.
but yours is a little
Oh
bit more.
my.
Yeah, yours is a true scary story. But like I told people before, I have a very strong haunted story that I have to share on here as well. From when I was a baby, it involved a pastor, and my mom and dad were, they were newlyweds and didn't have a lot of money in Chicago, and they went to a garage sale and they purchased some items from this garage sale from a pastor who had passed away. And man, I'm talking about my mom swore up and down by this story, and I believed her because it was something that never left her, and it involved things in the house. Like you could see these things up the wall, dancing and doing things, crazy shit.
Really?
So, man, John, um,
Yeah.
this has been like a really fascinating story, man. And you're one of the first few. I think I've had 4 of these so far, of these stories, and we are really just trying to make this community of the supernatural, just a more vibrant, robust community where people will get the opportunity to share their accounts and their stories, man. So I really appreciate you, being a part of uh, our group, and also being a part of the larger Club Geneva family, which is where my podcast is out of. And just thank you so much, man. Is there anything else that you would like to share as far as your account goes?
No, but maybe we can contact again. I have several more things that took place.
No, we definitely can. I'm going to get your story out to the group. And don't worry, I won't use your last name. I will use John, and I won't like attach your name unless you want me to. But
Yeah,
you'll see it pop
right.
up. You'll see it pop up on the group, and I can't promise you people won't associate. If you have another,
Well,
if you put
no,
a
if
post
someone got a comment, that would be fine.
Okay. Well, man, I thank you so much for allowing us to record you and just allowing us to use your detailed account to share with other members, because truly at the heart of this, we want people to be able to experience and share and swap details, because we really feel like that people need, from all the stories that I've heard, people need support more than anything. And some people will account of it just like, oh, okay, they just want to share scary shit and throw it back and forth. No, people, like you said, you were tearing up, just thinking about this. This is really affecting people. And I really feel like more professionals should take a look at this, not only in the supernatural professionals, but the people outside, the psychologists,
Oh
the
yeah, that thing that
therapists.
happened to me in the basement was
Yeah.
that thing that happened to me in the basement was traumatizing, and I've carried it with me my whole life. I'm 61 years old now,
Yeah.
and I've carried that. But I'm so I became pretty self-aware after very uh, horrible experiences uh, physically and I don't know, near-death experiences and things like that.
Hmm.
I've become so self-aware spiritually that, like I said, other things have happened to me since, and I got some good ones. If you guys want to pipe up and you know what I mean,
No,
and
I'm gonna put you in my.
give me a message, things like that. I'm going to write down a couple of stories that I have so I can tell it more clearly.
Yep.
Although I think I did a pretty good job right
No,
there.
you did a great job, and I really appreciate you, on the spot. Like, hey,
And
I'm ready. It,
by the way, my friend,
yeah.
I I slept on the couch for a week. I wasn't afraid to go down there during the daytime. So I turned my little room area. I had crosses and all kinds of religious stuff all around me. I went back down in that basement.
Mhm.
God,
You just
yeah.
challenging this thing.
Oh, no, I was just trying to protect myself. I didn't want to challenge. I never wanted to see it again. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. And how do I find you? And how do I find if you're going to print my story?
Well, what I'm gonna do is actually, I'm gonna just throw your recording into a little mix, and then put it right back out to the group, and they'll be able to hear your voice and your story and your account.
Right.
Yep, and you'll see it
All
pop
right.
up
Well,
on the
sounds
you'll see it
good.
pop up on the group, and when you see it pop up on the group, there'll be a link to the Club Geneva page, podcast
Right.
page, and we'll put it on there as a podcast as well to be connected to Club Geneva and our group, our supernatural group. So yeah, man, all things ghost. I think I always mess up Shannon's page, but I'll make sure I get it right. But all things paranormal. Yes. Thank you for being a
All
part
right.
of. Thank you for being a part of
Yeah.
this.
Try and send me some info back.
No, I
All
definitely
right.
will. I will.
Thank
I
you.
will link it to you. Thank you, sir. You have a great night.
Yeah. You too, buddy.
Bye bye.